My remote is in my room.
Week 2 of OTAs in the books. Welcome to the Black Bear Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Robb, with the fellas, co-host in the building. Chef West to the right of me. Got a full house. The OGs is back as well. Jeremy at the bottom right. OG Ronnie B, bottom left. Look, Caleb Williams showed his face. So we're going to talk about that and continue the streak we was doing last week and just talk about the next two rooms, position groups on this team, the wide receiver room and the DB room. All that and a lot more right after this. Fellas, how y'all feeling?
And we back.
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Y'all know how we do. We don't waste no time. We jumping right into it. Ain't no point in ducking smoke, as Caleb said. He showed his face. And actually, I don't know if y'all know, but he wasn't scheduled to talk until minicamp. But I'm guessing his team said, nah, we let's go do this. I know a bunch of us didn't think it was necessary in the first place. I know, Wes, you said he should have spoke last week, and apparently he felt like he didn't want to put it off no more. Caleb Williams addressed the Seth Wickersham book this week, and it's a little bit about what he had to say.
What's up? Good to see everybody back. So let's get this started. First, to start off with it is what everybody would love to ask about is this whole storm that happened. It wasn't something that we wanted to happen at this point. We're focused on the present. We're focused on now. We're focused on trying to get this ship moving in the right direction. And I think so far that's what we've been doing. But for this to come out, it's been a distraction. So coming up here and talking about it and addressing it is important today. And so that's what we're here to do. Next is all that went down, all that was said. Yeah, I had a good visit at the other place, Minnesota, with Ken O'Connell, good staff and all of that. Obviously, he just won Coach of the Year award and things like that. So obviously good staff and things like that. But something that keeps getting lost, something that keeps getting, I think, not being addressed the way it needs to be, is the fact that, I went on that visit first, came here, and then after I came here, I went back home, talked to my dad, and, all of the things that were supposed to be these big things that everybody's been talking about recently. One never happened in the sense of they were all thoughts. They were all ideas. And I think if you're in the situation, I think if your son or daughter, anybody is in a situation to be in that position, I think you think about all of the options and, and you look at it, the history and the facts and all these different things. And those are thoughts that go throughout your head in those situations. So, all of those were thoughts. And then after I came on my visit here, it was a deliberate answer and deliberate and determined answer that I had, is that I wanted to come here. And just like Ben spoke about, obviously, the past years, as everybody knows, it's a fact that quarterback play, there hasn't been a 4,000-yard passer. There's, all these different things that come up. And so, being able to have those thoughts is I think fair to be able to have, good and bad thoughts. But like I said, I came here on a visit. And like I said, just like Ben said, it's a challenge to be able to come in here and try and turn around. And that was the main goal of all of that, is to, through all of, what was, going on, through all of what happened in last year and previous year.
I'm gonna cut that short. That was Caleb Williams' intro. He spoke for about another 2 minutes, but I mean, it seemed like he covered a lot of stuff that he heard what was being said about him. He talked about the Vikings issue. He talked about Like, call it for what it is. The QB play hasn't been the best here in Chicago. He didn't tiptoe around it. He didn't try to sugarcoat it. It was going to be a challenge coming here. And at the end of the day, he said what we all been focusing on. I decided to come here. I went to the Vikings meeting. It was good. But the Bears came next. And once I came to the Bears meeting, I really liked that one. And I decided I can do this for this team. Like I said, we talked about this, and he basically said a lot that we've discussed, but he spoke about his father wanting to put him in the best situation. Wes, Jeremy, you want to speak to that in any way, shape, or form?
I'll let Ronnie and Jeremy go because I kind of touched on it, but I can finish off after those guys go.
I'll take it for a second. I like the fact that he addressed it. He didn't have to, and I like the fact that he was a man about it. He addressed it because he knows everybody was talking about it, thinking about it, and the fact that he went to the Minnesota visit and then came to us and still decided and said, basically, hey, I can do this here. I can win with this team. He liked what he saw. It's a monumental challenge, and that's what he accepted, and he did that as a man, and I respect that. And yeah, you said he showed his face, but I'm waiting for the season so he can show his ass because that's what's about to happen. Let's get it.
Ricky, he was rambling a little bit. That's why I cut it short because I said he was going for like another 2 minutes, and he was, he didn't have a script, so it's gonna be a little rambling in there when you up there talking for 5 minutes. So I cut it short. But I really asked Jeremy and Wes, y'all got the kids? Yeah, like.
I do the same thing as Caleb's dad. If it were trying to put my kid in the best situation possible, and as a parent, you do that all the time. You're constantly trying to evaluate and make decisions that are in their best interest. And I'm a Bears fan, but if my son was a quarterback and he was the number 1 pick overall, I mean, I've lived it. I've watched this team my whole life. I know what happens. I've seen what happens with highly drafted quarterbacks here. So, I mean, it was, to me, it was a big nothing burger. He needed to address it. He addressed it really well. I felt like, his dad is kind of like a momager of like a boy band, like he's like very much in charge of Caleb's career, but ultimately Caleb made the decision that he wanted to make. I thought he addressed it well. I did think he should have addressed it last week and just put it to bed. Like, it kind of lingered for a week, even though none of it was a big deal. I just think, like, just rip the Band-Aid off, handle your business, and it would have been over with. So, Bear Truth showing up, love to see it. From my perspective, like, as a parent, I would do the same thing. I didn't feel any sort of way about what Carl wanted or what Caleb was considering.
Wes, I imagine you feel the exact same way, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, hey, look, I will punt somebody else's kid off a bridge like Ron Burgundy punted that dog. My kids come first. I don't care what nobody say. My kids come first. And I get it. And like I said, the only thing that I did say was, just like you just said, Jim, just like last week, just get it out. Get it out. We already knew. Mark, remember me, you, and Def, we went over this whole thing of him not wanting to come to Chicago and before the draft, and why would he want to come to Chicago? And we put out the history, what it is to be a Bear, the fact that we don't have a 4,000 yard, we don't have a historic quarterback. I mean, we could talk about Jim, but I mean, he just did the Super Bowl shuffle. That's what made him cool. He was the white dude invited to the barbecue back in the 80s.
Well, Jim didn't throw for 4,000. He didn't throw for 30 touchdowns.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
he didn't need to.
What he did,
you're right.
He did the Super Bowl shuffle, and he was at the barbecue. He got some good potato salad. And
Jim Miller was better than him. Shit.
Yeah, it was a lot of them. But my whole thing is, and we said it, Mark. Remember, we said this is where if you really want to be a generational, right? Mm-hmm. Remember last season we talked about generational, legendary, never forgotten. Like if he throw for, let's just say in 10 years, Caleb is with the Bears and he has one season where he throws for 5,000, like a Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Remember when they went back to back, throw for 5,000 yards and 52 touchdowns? Do you know how long that will stand? in a Bears jersey, it will be year 4062 and it's
I do
you see
think
what I'm saying?
I think to Ricky Mosby's point here about why they dog walk Prime for doing the same thing. The difference was that Caleb was doing this. Caleb's dad was doing this behind the scenes. Prime was on TV shows saying I'm gonna do this. So I feel like Prime was doing this out in front of the camera, where Caleb's dad was doing it behind the camera. And I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I think from a perception perspective, you'd much rather not have this being something that's out there publicly. It came out a year later, year and a half later, whatever, versus like in the moment.
The difference between Prime and Carl is we're talking about prime time Deion Sanders. People hated him for the last 30 years. There's people that still hate him in two different sports who don't like Deion Sanders because he was so good at what he did.
He got helicoptered into the brain.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And he talked the talk and walked the walk and did all that. So it's people who have some type of animosity towards him anyway. And for him to try to project that into his kids, try to use that to fuel their fame in a way, that's why it's a little bit different when it comes to Prime. But Carl is a grown man and a provider in his own right behind the scenes in America as a very successful person in what he does for a living. So it's just with Deion, it's like we are. I mean, if you know football, you know who you do the. It's an emoji in football you can do with Deion.
We know the dance.
So we know the dance.
So
yeah, don't have because he's famous, right?
Since we talking about football dads or sports dads, Deion Sanders, y'all mentioned LeVar Ball kind of did the same thing. I think LeVar was way more out there than any of them two dudes was. And look at his children. I mean, you could hate him, you could hate Lonzo or think he successful, very successful, and don't even get me started on the young one, LaMelo.
No. Hey, there's no such thing as bad press. I saw what was it, about a month or two in the last, I would say I can't time, but in this year, let me say this year, I seen a whole week of LeVar Ball rolling around the chair because he got his foot cut off. Like you ain't the first person, you ain't the first amputee, LeVar. Now how you gonna sell shoes and you only got one foot?
Selling half pairs, bro.
Half pairs.
But
hey, 50% off.
But since we talking about the dads and I was gonna go a different direction, but since we on it, Caleb did this question that he got. It was annoying because it was like, what are you doing? Like Caleb, I think he handled it well. He handled it better than I would have. I don't know. I usually know who the reporter's asking these questions. I don't know which one it was, but I probably wouldn't answer no more of his questions.
Patrick Finley from the Sun-Times.
Was it Pat Finley? Okay. See, and it's just like, you got beef with me. What did I do to you that make you try to come at me in that type of way? But this is Caleb speaking on his dad, since we talked about dad.
Caleb, does your dad speak for you?
No. No. I actually shut my dad down quite a bit. He has ideas. He's a smart man. And so I listen, and I always listen. And I'm very fortunate to be in this position in the sense of, playing QB, but also very fortunate to have a very strong-minded father. And so, we talk very often. It's like my mom and my dad are my best friends. And so, being able to, have conversations with them to understand that everything they say also is, portrayed on me. So I think that's the part of it. But other than that, no, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm very fortunate to have a father, that's super strong-minded, that's always there, always wants the best for his kid. And I think, any of y'all that has a kid or, anything like that, a niece or nephew that you love so dearly, they try and help and you try and help and put them in positions that it's the best position that you can. So that's all he tries to do. But no, definitely a grown man. And, I shut him down quite a lot just because, in season, out of season, it's something that you have to do. He cares so much about me and, my future. And we've been along this journey so long together that, all he wants is the best for me. And so if anything happens, he's super, super high-headed, and it's more of like, all right, like, go ahead and go away, reset and things like that. So, love him to death and things like that. And like I said, super fortunate to have him. But, we have talks about it, understanding that, it's a right place and the right time. And then, there's times where it's not.
What you thought he was going to bust toss his dad? Like, I don't get the question. If since you said as Pat Finley, he'll get an opportunity to get plenty of questions in. But if you a reporter in this room and you only get one chance, you only get that one question,
right?
That's what you gonna ask the man? Like he about to just dog his father up here in front of y'all? Come on now. I think he handled that great too.
He went with that Eminem. You gotta use your chance before you lose it. Shut the fuck up.
Like, come
that
on.
was stupid. I'm a grown man. I was a millionaire before I got out of college. What you think you're talking about? I lived in a penthouse in LA. You think my dad can say anything to me? Like, sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
That's one of the dumbest things a reporter could ever ask somebody. Like, it's so insulting. You're a local coming after one of our guys. Like, what are you doing? Instead of uplifting, you're trying to tear him down. This guy's about to rebuild the city. You better watch out. Come on now.
I thought the question was bad, obviously, but look at it from this way. It teed him up to be able to spike the ball, and just address what the level of involvement with his dad is and how it works and how it doesn't work. So from that perspective, I feel like in the end, for Caleb, it was a win. That question being asked gave that soundbite, which clearly put it out there. How that relationship works, ebbs and flows. So I thought it was a dumb question, but I mean, it was a softball for him to crush out of the park in that situation.
Sure.
And from that angle, absolutely, like you said, hit a home run, crush it, knock it out the park, and that's what he did. Because I'm not going to bad talk my dad, especially not in front of y'all.
Yeah,
we go like he said, we go at it, we get into it all the time behind closed doors, but you ain't gonna see none of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm saying you're not gonna see me just like mow down my own daddy. Like, I'm not gonna mow him down, but what you expect me to say? Yeah, we collab. Yeah, we no, this is my life. This is my career.
Yeah.
Do I respect his opinion? Of course I do. Like I said before, he's a respectable man in his field and what he is and what he does, and he got me here for sure.
Yeah, he ain't about to badmouth Pops. Ain't no way.
Yeah, but at the same time, I make the final choice. Like he said, I did the visit at the other place. I wish he would have left it at the other place.
Yeah,
I went up to the other place. It was cool, but I came here and I saw what I could do.
Right.
And I said, and I made the decisive, what he said. I made a targeted, I made a deliberate, I made a vowed choice to come here to Chicago and make a difference.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're waiting on.
Yeah, and that's what we're waiting on. Because the only other person that would be on his level if he do what he can do, what we expect him to do, is Michael Jordan.
Oh boy, I seen it coming.
You seen it coming. I softballed it for you, Mark. You already know. The only other important person that he probably can't overtake in the city of Chicago is maybe Michael Jordan. But when they build the stadium, put a Caleb Williams statue out in front of it.
I disagree. He brings one Super Bowl in Chicago. Well, it'll make him immortal.
I mean,
like I said, never was in Chicago. Let's keep it 100. Michael Jordan is everybody's. He's every London, New York. He's everybody. California,
galactical.
Yes. He's everybody's GOAT. He's everybody's.
You seen Space Jam on the planet Nimrod? He's the greatest player. You seen Space Jam, the good one.
Bear Truth jumping in. He said, I didn't have an issue with the question. People did want to see how Caleb would respond to that question, kind of like you were saying, Jeremy. It was a pretty long answer. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, what if he just said no or just said yes?
What did I say? What did I say last week, Mark? I said, hey, look, even if he comes out and say nope or yes, just respond and let's move.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not into baseball like that. I'm if I'm
come on, PCA, really?
I've been seeing a lot about this PCA guy. What's up with him?
What? Are you for real? PCA, he getting it in. He got like 15 homers, 51 RBIs. He probably the leading candidate for center field in an All-Star game right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay. Now, if I said the name Frank Thomas, I said the name Sammy Sosa,
the big hurt. Okay.
PCA ain't overtaking them in the city of Chicago. Like he could do great things statistically. What I'm saying, I'm saying, if Caleb Williams win a Super Bowl or 2, hey, look, George, Michigan Avenue might be changed to Caleb Avenue or Williams Avenue.
What?
Or C-Dub Avenue, where you can go shop and get you some Garrick's popcorn. Okay. That's how great Caleb could be in the city of Chicago.
He's got to win it, though. Going isn't enough. Otherwise, we'd have Grossman Avenue. So,
oh, no, don't say that.
Wow.
Grossman, huh? You went way back.
No, it's crazy, Jeremy, because somebody asked me, they was like, yeah, man, you almost won a Super Bowl with Jake Cutler. I was like, no, the fuck we didn't.
Hey, Jeremy, you mentioned Rex Grossman. Do you remember Caden McNown?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
He was a southpaw from UCLA that I thought was going to do it, and he did not.
8th pick overall and out of the league really quickly.
He did not last at all. Nowhere he went.
Wow. But just to finish off the whole Caleb thing is, I'm happy he said what he had to say. I'm fine. Like I said, Mark, last week, get it out the way. Let's move on. Y'all tried to take him or make him feel some type of way, or try to pit him against his own family, which was cowardly to say the least for me. And on top of that, if you watch the Black Bear podcast, you already knew. We knew this. We knew he liked that. A year ago. We knew he liked that the other place guy that was up there because he was good. Did you see what he did with Sam Darnold? Look what he did with Sam Darnold. What you thought he would do with Caleb Williams? Like, come on. Of course, it's intriguing. But he made the decision. He came in. When he got drafted, he was loud and proud. We saw it. We put the clips up, Mark. We saw him go get his draftee buddy, my man's. We saw him go get him Guy. We saw him go through trials and tribulations.
Controversial pick.
Well, you don't even want to say that.
Very controversial pick.
But anyway, anyway, they here.
No, absolutely.
And they here, and we saw what he did. And like I said, 3,500 yards ain't nothing to bat no eye at.
Well,
to not throw an interception in your division is not something to bat your eye at.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I do got one more clip I want to play from Caleb, because a lot of people like to downplay those numbers, and they like to look at his season as a bad season. And then like at least 60 to 70% of Bears fans think he had a failed rookie season. We finally get to hear what Caleb think about his rookie season.
The concerns you had before the draft about this organization, some of them would seem to be justified when you go through a year like you did your rookie year. How do you get yourself in a headspace now where you trust that you're in good hands going forward?
Yeah, I have the I have the utmost respect, and there's things that I've done throughout my years of training and learning and working hard and things like that. And this past year was a bump. There was good, bad, and indifferent. And so being able to look at that and understand that, I still threw 6 picks in the National Football League. I had 3,500 total or something like that, or whatever it was, and 20 touchdowns. And that's not where I want to be. That's not where I'm going to be. But it's a step in the right direction. Like I said, there was some good, bad, and indifferent. And you got to look at those things. You got to understand that all the good, all the bad, and all the indifferent is going to be good for me, in many years to come. And so, I think that's how I look at it. I still have all the confidence in myself. I think my teammates, believe in me. I think that's shown on game day. And I think how much I love and care for those guys and want to go win. I think it shows up on game day. So
What about the new?
It just sounds nice that we can argue back and forth all we want as Bears fans on whether his season was a success or not. It was definitely up and down, but you heard out his mouth. I still went out there and threw for 3,500, 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, even though there were people who thought he should throw more interceptions, which was absolute blasphemy to me. Throw more interceptions, but look,
context.
I'm just
Context,
saying,
people. Go watch the previous episodes. That's context.
I thought he should have thrown more interceptions too. I thought he was checking down forever.
You don't do that. We're not doing that.
He
Absolutely
wasn't
not.
as confident in some throws, so he was just doing what was safe.
Context.
You absolutely cannot throw interceptions. I don't care what's going on.
That.
Somebody even said after Jared Goff and the Lions won a game by throwing 5 interceptions, maybe Caleb should throw 5 interceptions. You fucking think the Chicago Bears will hang with anybody if the quarterback throws 5 interceptions? Oh my God.
We're gonna pull the goalie after that. Shit.
Look. Where I stand with that whole interception thing, absolutely not. I don't think it's even a conversation starter. I don't think there's a debate. You cannot throw interceptions. I don't care what's going on. You cannot throw interceptions.
I don't think it's about throwing interceptions. I think it's about the fact that he did not take chances for a huge chunk of the season. He was risk averse to almost a frightening amount of refusing to chuck it down the field.
I would defend that, Jeremy, in 2 ways. I got to comment on 3 ways. Ronnie, you got something to say about this comment before I get in here? Because
go ahead. I want to hear this.
So what happened was week 3, 4 mark when I said I would rather. It was a lot of people, but I just felt like I was at some point last season on that train, and I said it on this podcast, like I would rather you throw some interceptions because he didn't throw a touchdown yet.
You can't tell me it's taking more chances, and he throws an interception, and then you beat on him for only throwing 6. Imagine if he threw 15.
I didn't. I'm not beating on him. I'm not beating him. I'm defending my statement.
Absolutely.
Week 4 of when we were like, when will Caleb throw his first touchdown? Remember, it was weeks that he didn't throw a touchdown. And I said, hey, you have to take chances. Even if you throw an interception, I'm okay with if you're trying to take chances. I'm not talking about no other pundit, nobody else. Mark, I am defending what I said on this podcast last year, probably week 3, 4-ish, when I'm like, come on, Kev, we gotta get a touchdown. You have to get a touchdown. Generation, you have to get a touchdown. I feel like, hey, look, if you throw a pass in the end zone and get picked, at least you're trying to get a touchdown. We need you to get a touchdown so I can defend you. So I can be there for you. But when now, in hindsight, when it's all said and done, I get why he only threw 6 touchdowns. 6 interceptions. The same way that Aaron Rodgers don't throw picks either. He's a 3-4 time MVP, and we hate to bring him up, but he don't throw picks. He throw the ball away. He would rather keep his QBR immaculate than win a game. Cool. I was just saying, throw your first touchdown in the NFL, Caleb. Please. That's all I was saying.
Look, I get it. The context was definitely I set it up like that because I knew it'd get a discussion, and then I love good natural debate, football debate, but absolutely not. I don't care how you got to take care of that football. You absolutely have to. It goes just kind of like as a running back, you keep fighting for extra yards and you're getting held up, and they punching the ball out because you want to fight for 5 more yards. Go down. Just take what you got. And move on. You cannot turn the football over. And I think y'all know that. I definitely think y'all know that, but
yeah, no, it's not. It was just like we need you to be the number. if you're gonna be the number 1 overall pick, if you're gonna be a generational talent, if you're gonna be like we could talk about, I mean, Drew Bledsoe, I mean Drew Bledsoe, Patriots, was a laser cannon, just like kind of like Favre and them. We could talk about a Namath
picks too.
Remember Namath? I mean, I know Ronnie know who Namath is.
Namath threw picks like crazy. Look at his stats.
Picks like crazy. He throwing the ball. You gonna catch this ball. You gonna catch it. I'm throwing this thing. I'm throwing it. I'm a quarterback. My job is not to run nowhere to way back. My job is to sling this thing around, catch it or don't catch it. It don't matter. I'm slinging this thing around. My whole thing with Caleb is, if you show timidness, where's that generational talent?
Right.
Where's that thing? Where's what you was doing at USC? Where's that shit that got you a Heisman?
Go ahead.
That's what I want to see. And if it ends up as an interception, I'm not mad at you, but I want to see you doing those kind of things.
Real talk.
I'm Team West on this.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying turn over the ball. What I'm saying is do what you're supposed to do. Hey, look, Kobe, if you're gonna take 60 shots, take 60 shots. You Kobe Bryant.
Right. Do you
jump
you
in
LeBron,
there,
you LeBron take over the game. I would rather have you taking 45 shots or giving the ball to J.R. If Dan Marino, if you this guy, like, I'm giving the ball to you. I'm not. Hey, look, I'll go back to the Washington game last year. I'm giving the ball to my running back on the 1 yard line, not the center, who's never ran a ball.
Right. He throws.
That's what I mean.
3-4 picks in that Washington game. We don't come down to a Hail Mary. I guarantee you that. He throws those picks. He throws picks in those Vikings games. I guarantee you we're not in overtime. He throws picks against the Lions. I guarantee Matt Eberflus ain't gonna have an opportunity to not call a timeout.
But he shouldn't, Mark. He shouldn't. He's better than that. We're just saying throw the ball, Caleb. Make those plays. That play he did down the field when he scrambled out and flung the ball up, and DeAndre Swift tracked the ball down for that catch. That was great. Almost all of Roma Dunze first downs was him scrambling, doing great things. Throw it. Get it up out of there. Don't get sacked. Throw the ball. Throw it away. Throw it out of bounds. Throw a touchdown. Throw a first down. Throw an interception. I guarantee if he was throwing the motherfucking ball, he wouldn't have 68 fucking sacks. You can't get sacks if you don't got the ball.
I don't care how you try to slice it. I don't care how nobody try to slice it. You better not throw those interceptions. It's that simple. It's football. It's back to the basics.
Saying throw
just
interceptions.
Like the
We're
Bears
saying throw the ball.
That's
as
fine.
a rookie. You have to take those bumps and bruises, though.
We talking about interceptions. We're not talking about throwing the ball away. We're talking about interceptions. So let's stay on interceptions. You better not throw interceptions. I don't care.
Listen, it's about expected points added. Ben Johnson at the beginning of the year made the point that EPA is the driver. The team with the higher EPA wins 80% of the games. So in an EPA comparison model, you're not getting punished for throwing an interception. You can throw an interception and still win a game, which is why Detroit won so many games when Jared Goff threw the ball. Now, the flip side is that an EPA-based offense is going to focus more on short passes with run after the catch, crossing routes, things like that are going to allow the receiver to get in space and move. But again, not throwing interceptions is not how you win games. EPA, high EPA, having a better EPA than your opposing team, even with a couple interceptions, is how you're going to win games in the NFL.
Look at Kyle Bryant. Good job.
Kyle Bryant. That's cute. That is very cute and adorable. But just like Bears fans thought it was okay to go draft a wide receiver and build this team from the outside in instead of focusing on football, the trenches, y'all could keep talking about this EPA stuff. You can't throw interceptions in football. But it'll come full circle every single time. You cannot throw interceptions. It's like I've never heard this before until this season. Honestly, I've never heard this type of argument until Caleb Williams didn't throw interceptions. It's crazy to me.
CJ Stroud didn't throw interceptions either, and this was a lot of the conversation last year with him. He threw 8. He threw 8 last year.
They went to the playoffs. They won 10 games, right? I guarantee he threw 20. He won.
He ain't better than Caleb. I'll tell you that. I don't think so.
Look.
Another question. Another
fellas,
we can get into that later.
You fellas are not the only ones that feel like this. You see it's in the chat. That's all in the chat. It is going to be talked about all season. We'll see.
Marcus, you said it like we're telling Caleb to throw interceptions.
I don't care what you're
not saying that.
If you're talking about throw interceptions, if in any way, shape, or form, I'm not with it.
The turnover differential is not the best predictor of who's going to win or lose a game anymore. This is not. It's so.
You know what it is?
Points are having more points than the other team will likely have you win a game every
As a
single
rookie
time.
quarterback, I expect that stuff, and I want to get it all out of the way before we get good and get our team settled. Get all that out of the way, all your sacks, all your picks, whatever you're going to do, your bumps and bruises. Let's get it out of the way, and then we can be good.
$14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. There you go, Bear Troop. 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the red zone. 0 interceptions thrown in the NFC North. I'm okay with that. But when it says 14 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the red, the touchdowns is what I had a problem with. It was no touchdowns, no interceptions. Like you're the first overall pick. Yeah, we're 4-2. Well, we wasn't 4-2. Yeah, we were like, well, we were 2-2 at that point before we went to London, something like that. 3-1. I think I can't remember where we was before we went to London. But we won those games on Tyreek and Will Levis being stupid and playing really bad teams. And like you said, Mark, you said, hey, look, we're going to take Caleb. Remember? And you told me, hey, Wes, you need to get on the Caleb Williams train. Drink the juice, drink the Kool-Aid. This is the future. And what did I say? It took me, 10 days, Mark? And I said, all right, I have my 10 days of woes, right? Remember? I had 10 days of woes. I got out of it. Caleb, everything, C-Dub. That's what we is. That's what we're running with. And I waited weeks and weeks for a touchdown. And I said, God, I just wish he would just try to get it down there. Even if it's a pick. Like, just try.
He did. The ball got ripped out of Rome Odunze's hands, or he dropped it. Somebody was dropping it. Who was catching these contested balls? That's what DJ Moore's 5 feet tall. Keenan Allen ran a 5'5", 40.
Here we go.
And Rome Odunze
J.R. Smith story.
Like who was catching these contested balls? Who was gonna catch them?
We don't have
all of them. Okay. All of them. Look at the ones they did catch. They were like we can. It's arguable, Mark.
No, it's
but
not.
For you to say yes, it is easily. Okay. Easily arguable. Like, do you want to go to the tape and see the balls that Caleb threw in the dirt? What? I'm not saying Caleb was bad. All we were saying was it was a point in time where it was like, hey, dude, beat Caleb. And he did more often than not last year, and a lot of Bears fans didn't see that. Even through a 10-game losing streak, he still was great a lot of times. Those receivers was great a lot of times. A lot of those catches that Rome Odunze did make, those was first downs. A lot of times.
Look,
I guarantee I will go to federal court with evidence enough to show out 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. No interceptions thrown in his division. He didn't throw an interception to nobody in our division. No Lions defensive player caught a ball from Caleb.
That's a good thing.
That's a great.
I know. I will take that to court and I will defend that. I can go to court and say almost half of Roma Doomsday catches were first downs. I can go and say like a bunch of things. It's arguable. The fact is, Caleb Williams is great. The Bears is ascending, and it is going to shock the entire fucking world. That's just a fact.
I love it. I love
Good. Oh man, good talk. Great look. Yeah. Y'all ain't the first. Y'all ain't gonna be the last to be on that side of the fence. I damn sure ain't the first and ain't gonna be the last to be on this side of the fence. But this is one topic that there's no bending. There's absolutely no bending. Not on this end. There's nothing you can say to me that'll even make me come around. So look, let's talk about what we were hearing on the field. I got a question for y'all. Ozzie, from what we've heard, right? We've all heard this. He was starting at left tackle. Last week it was Karan. Are you surprised to see, because last week he wasn't even getting second team reps, not consistently. It was, from what I've heard, it was the Josh Miles dude. I think we talked about him, Wes, on last week's show. But now he's just starting. Rotational? You think this is a rotation thing, or you think they see it? They've seen it. They've seen it already.
All right, I'm gonna go first. It's gonna take me 6 steps. My bad, Ronnie, Jeremy. I'm gonna go first.
Do it.
Mark, you give me a wish. Braxton Jones will be not on this team, probably. He's not.
You out of there.
He's not going to be on this team.
Yeah.
He's not going to be on this team. He's not going to be on this team. They're younger. They're better.
Mm-hmm.
On their worst day, it seems that they're better. That injury that Karan sustained, that makes him at least a solid backup. In the way Ozzie played this week, as far as I've heard and I've read, he's looking like starter material.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So guess what? The Black Bear Podcast fans, we will never have to upset Mark Robb again, because we probably, after this season at least, would never have to talk about Braxton Jones again.
That's bold. You bold tonight.
I feel it. I feel it.
Tonight.
I'm just saying what I feel like. How Ozzie was, like what he says. He's like, look, I will play any position on the O-line.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get on the field.
Yeah.
What Karan said last season when he said, hey, look, if I'm out there, nobody's going to touch Caleb. And that's their mindset, and the people that they are. That's their target. That's their aspiration, right? So if those two is going to do that at a younger age, healthier than Braxton is, younger than Braxton is, I can see Ozzie taking a starter position and Karan even backing him up, or vice versa, easily. And they already there. They already got the rapport. They got the time. People talk about experience and all this kind of. Hey, look. Hey, let me get in there. Give me that chance, and nobody else is gonna take it. And I feel like that's where they at. And from what I heard, Ozzie looked real, real good. Karan even looked real, real good.
So, no surprise there then? There was no surprise that he was... This is what I think. I think they'll rotate. I think next week we'll probably see I think we'll see Karan back in there. I don't think there's any spots being won right now. I think training camp, put the pads on. I think that the two training camp practices in, and who you see who's out there, that's who'll be the guy. That's who'll be the guy. I do feel Ozzy maybe got a little edge just off of, perception right now, and perception is reality. So he got a little edge, but we'll see. He played well in t-shirts and shorts. I actually heard Darnell struggled. I heard he struggled, but he ain't going nowhere either. You know what I mean? So, Jeremy, were you surprised to hear that Ozzy was starting?
No, I mean, if anything, after watching 1920 this week, it was like they drafted him to be the left tackle. I mean, they said, we got our offensive line now, was exactly what Ian Cunningham said after that got done. So to me, I would be shocked if anyone other than Ozzy Trapillo is at left tackle in week 1. To me, he's the only guy that makes sense playing there. Braxton's going to be coming off a serious injury. Karan is still a project. I think Karan will probably be your rotational tackle this year. But I mean, like I don't see anyone else that's starting at that position other than him. And if for whatever reason, there's another injury, I can imagine him slotting inside, playing somewhere else at guard or something if someone else gets hurt, and then you put Karan at left tackle if you need to, because I feel like you need to have 8 to 9 starting caliber offensive linemen on your roster. I mean, that's the Philly model, right? Like they had a guy behind Jason Kelsey before, and then shoved him at guard just to have him. So, I think that he'll be the starter for sure.
Starter for sure. Braxton still on his roster after this season?
Probably not. I don't think so.
No.
I think Ozzy's showing enough right now with Kieran. Those two guys are just going to hold that position and rotate. It's easy to trade him right now. Why not? Ozzy's everything they expected and wanted, and he's proven it in OTAs and practice. So roll with it.
Okay. That's a lot of love for Ozzy Trapillo.
For sure.
Going around.
I think it's less love for Braxton Jones.
Right.
There's definitely a most talented Backstreet Boys situation there. It's like you're still in the Backstreet Boys, but you're the best one. So
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like those guys, like I said, those guys is young. Those guys are good. Like if you look at it, Ozzy is the. I seen somebody who said that Braxton. Ricky said that Braxton is the insurance. No, Ozzy is the insurance.
Yeah,
like you said, Mark, last week. You don't see that dog in him. He reminds you of Joe Tooney, kind of just solid. Does his job, go home and make cookies. Like that's Ozzy kind of guy.
And he's willing to play multiple positions. Karan is more kind of vicious, but he didn't play against the top tier kind of talent. Right. But somebody else put in there. Who put in there? We seen what Jones's Oliver put in there. We already seen what Braxton Jones is. He not it. Hot garbage.
Yep. Hot garbage. I'll take a shot with you on that. Hot garbage. So my whole thing is, why hold on to him? Who will want him? Can we trade? I don't even know if we could trade him for nothing. He's like
I don't think so. I think he's due to get paid, so it'll be tough to trade him.
He got that number 12 feel to me, and I ain't gonna say his name. Mark know who I'm talking about. He got the number 12 feel to me. Just drop off like a wart. Ice him, bandage him, and wait till they fall off. You know what I mean? Like that's how it feel.
Wes, how much did our guy Tevin get paid? He made nothing. I mean, so the rest of the league didn't think he was 5 years, 20 million either. So
not even.
But I mean,
I think he's a backup lineman somewhere else. He can have some more kids.
I don't mind Braxton. I don't mind Braxton being like an 8th or 9th offensive lineman on this roster. He's not going to cost that much. If he wants to stay, I don't have any issue with that. But he's not getting a big check from anybody, I don't think.
No.
I think the market will be soft for him.
Exactly, Jeremy. Like if he wants to be down there with Bill Murray and the Kramers kind of guy, sure. I'll put him in on a day that somebody has an ankle injury and we're just trying to get and say, hey, Caleb, look, Ozzy's not there or Kyron is not there. Roll right. Right, that's the plan this week. Roll right kind of thing. Sure. But starter? Nah. No, I don't. Like I said, what I say in the text group, I don't know why he's still in the graphics. He made the graphic look bad. I hate Twitter. I hate it. Like, stop putting him in the graphic.
Well, there is a lot of Bears fans though that think he's okay. You know what I mean?
Because they're fans and they're stupid, Mark. And we said that last year.
You know how I feel. I go opposite of what Bears fans want. If they want something, I want another thing because this fan base is crazy. But okay,
they still mad that Caleb painted his nails 475 days ago.
Look, I'm not down on Ozzy in any way, shape, or form. I just want to see what y'all seeing. I really want to feel like, I want him
solid.
Make me feel it. You know what I mean?
Solid.
If you've seen Braxton Jones, then all you need to see is Ozzy, and you good.
But there's that point, and then I haven't seen Karan. So
I don't know if y'all biblical.
I do get
I'm
it.
gonna tell you what Ozzy is. I'm gonna tell you what Ozzy is. We want him to be Jesus, but at the end of the day, he John the Baptist.
Okay,
that's it. He is
that one
pivotal. Oh yeah, okay. Well,
pivotal, good word.
He's pivotal. He's solid.
Good word.
He's the rock.
You dug deep.
He's the rock. He's the rock. Oh man, I'm a very intuitive person.
Oh,
but
okay.
He's so solid. He's solid. He's like his worst. Ozzy's worst is better than Braxton Jones' best game he ever had.
Oh, definitely feel that way too.
That's what
I don't think that Ozzy's just gonna get pushed over, where you would just see the move that they would use on Braxton Jones is a straight up bull rush. I do think that Bear Truth's point here is I would love to see Karan Amagaji slide inside to guard. I agree. He didn't look like a tackle to me, an NFL tackle to me last year in the Washington game in particular. I would love to see him sort of learn from Tooney and maybe be your long-term answer at guard. You got Newman also, who I haven't heard much about since OTAs started, but I would love to see that.
Newman is the center guard position, and like you said, Karan can move into guard. Y'all keep talking. Somebody brought up the Eagles line and how they just motion people in. This is what it looks like. Newman can go and play center and motion in. You can pull in Karan into a guard type position, and you got Ozzy. Darnell Wright is still young on the thought. Then you just missing like one piece here, one piece there. This is how O lines stay good for multiple seasons. Like Mark said, build the trenches. It's gonna be better. It's gonna continue to be better when you keep building the trenches. You're gonna keep bringing them in, keep bringing them in because you already filled out everything else. Everything else is already filled out.
Those veterans can teach those younger guys how to become just like them through practices and through the OTA, all that. They're going to learn all that stuff from these all pros all summer long. So get ready for it this season.
See, I was about ready to move on from this conversation, and Ricky came in with this. And this is another one I just disagree with for a fifth round. Okay, for himself, if you want to talk about for his own personal feelings of his skills, yes, it's fine. But for a fifth round pick, he shouldn't have been starting there. I don't know what that comment even really means.
Exactly. Oh, there you go. You got it. Okay, cool. You good. No, you're right. For a fifth round pick, he should never been starting at left tackle. Your fifth round pick is starting at left tackle. Mark,
Ryan Poles.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But it calls how the draft goes. It calls how the talent goes. It calls who you want to put right there. Ryan Post could have drafted him in the second round.
I mean, I do think left tackle is the most expensive position on the offensive line. Getting somebody in the 5th round who could play there for a couple years saved him money. It saved him draft capital too, because he didn't have to necessarily, or he probably should have addressed it immediately, but he didn't. He addressed it right tackle first. But I mean, from my perspective, that's all I can say about the 5th round thing is like, yes, against expectations of where you take a 5th round. I mean, I hate to bring up 12, Wes's guy, but he was a 3rd round
my
pick.
Guy.
He's
not
a 3rd round
mine.
pick.
Not mine. I don't even know him. We not related. No relation.
So I mean, I can understand that sentiment, but now that you're a starting left tackle, you're a starting left tackle, and that's the comparison.
You are a starting left tackle. Absolutely. Thank you for finishing. Because I was looking at you sideways a little bit when you started, but yeah, wherever you drafted, once you're in there, you're in there. We're not grading on a curve when we're talking about starting left tackles based on where you were drafted. So
hey, tell him. Hey, you got AP classes now.
I've been beating this dead horse for the last, I don't know how many years. You just don't turn on the film and like what you can't turn on Braxton film. And then people can say, oh, the quarterback didn't get sacked on this play or whatever. Turn on Braxton Jones film. Nobody will say he was good. Nobody. You just can't.
That's Caleb's blind
He's
better than that.
The rookie dogged him. Oh my God. Anyway. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all care about Cole Kmet? Do y'all care about Cole?
Of course, I care about Cole Kmet.
Everybody
don't say y'all because Mark. All right, man. Look, this how the show gonna be. It's the second time I feel like he came for me personally.
Really?
You know I care about Cole Kmet.
I just felt like he was getting buried, and you cared about Ozzy a little bit too much. But okay, let's go.
No, they brought it up, so I just gave my opinion. But this week, I said in a hey, what in the green room, guys? I said, did you see Cole Kmet blocking this week? Did you see him getting highlighted this week? Did you see him catch like Cole Kmet was out there shining? And you even said, Mark, yeah, you want it's because Coast and Loveland out there, not out there. It's okay, that's cool. I hope he gives Cole Kmet a run for his money. He better, like you say, he better get Cole Kmet a run for his money.
Yeah, he's supposed to.
So Cole Kmet was getting a lot of work in OTAs. He was getting moved around more than they have seen. And like I said, like I always say, this is from Bears reporters who had eyes on the situation. We couldn't see it. We just got to piece together what we've been hearing. And he was getting moved around way more than he was previous years. He was catching a lot of passes. He was getting a lot of work in. From one of the interesting things I heard, and I talked about this during the season, was I heard he was getting schemed open. Like, yes, they're in t-shirts and shorts, but when they go to teams 11 on 11, he's getting schemed open to the point where it's like the only way you can stop that play is if you man up and you stop Cole. You know what I mean? He's getting schemed open, and we were talking about Caleb and Cole for some reason Caleb just not liking to go to him, or for Cole Kmet just not having that good of a season. But when the ball was thrown his way, he caught it. And I pounded the table for it. I'm like, as an offensive coordinator, you can scheme any player open, and you tell Caleb, this ball better go to 85. This ball better go to 85. I drew the play for him, throw it. That wasn't happening last year. It was interesting that I heard that he was getting schemed open in practice. I know it's OTAs, but it's just something that I was pounding the table for last season, and it wasn't happening for Cole Kmet. Now, trade him. I will still package him up and put a bow on him, but I do think he could have had a better season last season if the coaches gave him more help than what they were doing.
Ronnie, Jeremy, y'all got something to say on that?
I think Cole Kmet definitely could have had a better season. They didn't utilize him last year. They didn't go to him. And I think Caleb being a little reluctant to go over the middle had a little something to do with it. But this year with Ben Johnson with the 2 tight end set and all that stuff, Cole Kmet's going to really flourish if we get him the ball. They have to get him the ball. That's the bottom line. He is a playmaker. Get him the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I hope he gets the ball. I hope whoever is schemed open gets the ball. I don't really have a need for Cole Kmet to get X touchdowns or X receptions.
No.
If they want to take him away and they want Loveland to get open or they want Moore to get open, I mean, I'm sort of good with whoever gets the numbers or gets the receptions, so long as there's an actual thoughtful scheme happening here. And people are actually being put into positions where they are open to catch the football. How many times last year did we see Shane Waldron scheme people into the same spot over and over again?
3 spots, 3 people,
Yeah.
3 levels, 3 levels, less than 10 yards apart. Stupid.
Yep. Like not even simple things, just like
Hey, guess who was open, Jeremy, on the other side of the field?
Cole Kmet.
All right. Is it my turn?
Nah.
Black Bear Podcast, is it my turn?
Do it.
Mark Rob.
The floor is yours, sir.
Mark Rob. You a pounding the table? I
If you
threw
want
the
him to
table
get
out
the
the
ball.
window. I threw the table. Tell him, Mark. I threw the table out the window to get the ball to Cole Kmet. I threw the table out the window for 5 straight weeks of why he had 0 targets. If you watch the podcast, you know what did I say 1,000 times over? He open. Behind the sticks open. When I said I love, you know me, love Rome. You forcing the ball to Rome. Get it to Notre Dame. I want to see that baseball pitch kind of foul being. You know, like I want that. Remember when he was, I don't know, we don't like to say his name on the podcast. Remember when he was Justin Fields' almost main target? Remember that? We was touchdown Notre Dame, constantly clubbing it up. He was great. He was good. And then on top of that, even last year, he had like a 96% catch. 90% of the times he was targeted, 96% of the time that Cole Kmet was targeted last year, he caught the ball. You're talking about Keenan Allen, Mr. Hall of Famer, dropping passes. Can't even show up for games. You're talking about DJ throwing tantrums. The rookie Roma Dunze can't catch the ball, whatever. Where was Tyler Scott? Nowhere. Couldn't do nothing. You got Cole Kmet out there, 96% catch rate. He's snapping the ball. He's blocking. I think he probably kicked the fucking field goal.
Hey,
you talk about my man. You know I love me some Cole Kmet, and I am with you, Mark Rob, on if we have to package him up for a trade to get something better. Okay, cool. I'm a Bears fan way before I'm a Cole Kmet fan, but don't sit here and act like Cole Kmet ain't no workhorse, ain't no dog. He's a nice guy, which I know you don't like that part of. He's a nice guy. He is. But man, is he not a workaholic? If he's not a football player, if he's not handing out Gatorade, the podcaster, he does everything right. You know who else did everything right? I'm gonna help you out because you know I got my Bible right here. Jesus from Nazareth. So I'm gonna call him Cole Kmet from Notre Dame. He does everything right. He does everything right. He does everything good. He's good and he's solid on every aspect of the game. Is there people that does it better? For sure. But look what happens when you scheme him out and all this kind of stuff. And you know why he looked good? Because his head coach used to be a tight ends coach and he loves tight ends. Cole Kmet finna have a monstrous year. And I can't wait to talk to y'all in week 12.
Monstrous. Wes. Monstrous.
Okay. Monstrous. Comparative. I'm not saying he's gonna be better than like DJ or Rome or Luther or even Loveland or whatever. When you see the difference, 85 jersey is gonna be flying off the shelf.
No, Cole's solid. He's solid.
He's good.
A little soft.
He's good. He's good, Mark. Just say he's good. Why you can't say he's good?
Is he like Greg Olsen or what?
He wish.
Yeah.
Wish.
Greg Olsen wouldn't block. Greg Olsen wouldn't block. We had to get rid of him.
Hold on.
I ain't gonna say he's Greg Olsen. But man, if He ain't good.
I love Cole Kmet too. I'm a big fan.
You know who's solid, Mark? Mercedes Lewis.
Ooh, he's a veteran leader.
20 years of solid football play. That's Mercedes
He's a
Lewis.
leader.
Cole better hope he could do what Mercedes did in his career.
Way better than
A
Mercedes.
lot of checks to collect.
He's not way better than Mercedes, Wes. Oh my gosh,
Longevity.
Okay, cool.
Sir.
I beg to differ. Let me write it down.
Mercedes Lewis. I mean,
know
we're
who
not
that
talking
is.
about old man blocker.
I'm not saying Antonio Gates. I'm not talking about R.I.P. Aaron Hernandez or Tony Gonzalez. You're talking about Mercedes Lewis. You don't think Cole Kmet is better than Mercedes Lewis?
Not when he was catching footballs, no.
Mercedes Lewis has done a lot of things in this league.
Cole Kmet catches football constantly. Just throw it to him.
He got good hands.
He does.
If you don't throw it to him, if you don't throw it to him,
this year will show if he's expendable or not. We'll see what happens with him.
He is expendable. That's the thing. He is. He's expendable for sure.
I will take that pick that Mark asked if we would trade a second-round pick with Cole Kmet for.
Yeah,
Henderson.
you know, the last time we found a tight end expendable, he went to the Super Bowl. He went to the Super Bowl. Last tight end we thought was expendable, he went to the fucking Super Bowl.
Damn, that's the Bears. That's what we do.
Ooh-wee. He would have caught that touchdown for the Ravens. Andrews. He's 96% catches. He would have caught that in the snow.
Right.
He would have caught that ball in outer space.
With ice on the ball.
Let's stop talking about Cole.
I just think
I like Cole Kmet.
By the way, I think they're writing on the wall. You don't take a tight end top 10. I said this last week. Unfortunate for his fans, his fan base. You don't take a tight end with the top 10 pick if you were, it just, I don't know what else to say. I didn't draft Colston. They did. So,
yeah.
But, all right, look, I haven't plugged the show in an hour we've been on. So look, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast. One word, no spaces, the Black Bear Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We go live every Sunday during the off season and post-game shows and some pre-game shows during the season following every game. Hit that like button for us. Show us some love.
Show us the love. Follow us on Twitter. That's my Twitter handle down there. If y'all want to get on Twitter and talk shit all week long, I'm at y'all.
So I want to talk to y'all just quickly. I want to just get everybody's opinion on this one because it was interesting to me. And I talked about it in the green room, the Albert Breer article with Caleb Williams. Well, Ben Johnson wanted to see two things, and one of them was an interception. So one being body language. Better body language. Two being pre-snap procedure. Now I know y'all remember during the season when Caleb would be at the line. A lot of times they would leave the huddle with only 10 seconds left. You know what I mean? It was a lot of bad stuff going on there. But the body language. Did y'all feel that Caleb Williams' body language was poor last season? They asked Ben about this in his press conference. I probably should have had the clip, but he said not just Caleb, but the entire team. So
we saw it.
Albert Breer talked about specifically Caleb. Did y'all feel like Caleb's body language was poor? I just want to, get y'all opinion on it.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I mean, he was.
Maybe it was this picture.
He was yeah, he was understandably emotional, and I mean, I think of the one that always strikes me the most is where you have him sitting next to Shane Waldron on the bench, and Shane Waldron's laughing his ass off, and he's like, "Bro, this ain't funny. This ain't funny at all." So it's like if this is where Ben thinks that this should start, these are things to work on, then that's enough for me. I mean, when you go through like the quarterbacks, the top, like, is Josh Allen super? What's his body language like?
Good
Yeah,
point.
I mean, what's Patrick Mahomes' body language like? I would say they're intense, but they're probably a little bit more steady when the bad things are happening. But then again, if you put Josh Allen behind that O-line, he might not be too happy either, or give him that rookie experience. But yeah, I mean, I think Laz is right, and Oliver too in the chat. The person who had the real body language issue that I had an issue with was definitely DJ Moore. So, if that's where Ben thinks it needs to start, that's enough for me. I'm good with that. But nothing to me was like, egregious last year.
So basically saying it wasn't Jay Cutler body language. That's what
I love Jay Cutler's. Smoking Jay's body language was.
Did you call him Smoking Jay?
I did. That's what you emulate. That's what you go for there. I mean, but you know what? I miss Jay Cutler. We wish we should have just a Jay Cutler appreciation. 30
don't
seconds.
Do that to me, Jeremy. Oh my God.
Just watching him truck people used to make me happy, man. But he would just lower the shoulder and just put the boomstick on somebody. I used to really enjoy it.
We don't agree on a lot. I see. I hate Jay Cutler. I don't hate Jay Cutler, but despise the man.
I hated the way his ball came out of his hand. It, like the tip of the ball was down, like the nose was always diving. I didn't like that about him. When he threw line drives, it seemed like it was always dying.
Ronnie West, was his body language poor? Like, was it? I guess it's levels. You got Jay Cutler up here.
Go Ronnie.
I don't think Caleb was as bad as Jay. I mean, he was a rookie going through.
Jay had diabetes. Turmoil.
So I mean, like, yeah, he was up and down a lot for sure. And you seen that on the sideline. He was kind of destroyed. Like, he imploded a little bit himself, but I think he rebounded though. I mean, like, he's a man. He's coming back. He's not that's not going to define who he was as a quarterback or a player in this league.
Ooh, this look good.
He was just going through the motions as a rookie, and he's going to rebound. He's going to be all right. He's going to be just fine. He's nothing like Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler, I liked him, but he was also a crybaby, and I don't see that in Caleb. I think Caleb's going to do better.
Who's Frank the Tank?
He's from Barstow. He's a bad guy.
Frank the Tank. Huh?
I know that.
Okay. All right.
Yes, Oliver. Is it my turn to say what I had to say about Caleb Williams again? You want me to go back to it? All right, cool. So Ronnie and Jeremy, y'all gonna get introduced again? Because me and Mark, I don't know. It's hard, Mark, for us to go back to this again. I know you're gonna hear me say it 1,000 fucking times. I even said it. Remember, I said the shit. I said his body language was. I'm trying to. How can I say? How can I say? I'm trying to think of the word. Damn, I wish I had a thesaurus. Abysmal. It was appropriate. It was consistent to what he was getting, and like anybody who watched the Black Bear podcast all last year, Mark Robb already know. I was at some of the games. I was down. I seen it in person, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, he is trying his hardest to hold up his end of the deal.
Yeah.
I'm trying my hardest to be generational. I'm trying my hardest to be legendary. And I wish we had the one what y'all was talking about. Remember, Mark, I put it in the text message before Jeremy and Ronnie ever got into it. I said, look how our quarterback is looking like, oh my God, I can't wait. And our offensive coordinator is laughing, looking at this Microsoft tablet. Like, ha, 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 ha. Like, why are you laughing? As the offensive coordinator, you're the offensive coordinator, and we don't have a touchdown or a field goal, and you're smiling, and your quarterback is distraught. Why are you smiling, Shane? Remember that, Mark? I said this is terrible. So when I hear Caleb say, hey, look, nobody was there with me. Yeah, Shane came in, he punched in, he did the minimum and walked out. He sent his reports. He did all that kind of stuff. And then he walked out. Body language, and it transcended. Remember, Mark, we spent 8 weeks. Mark, we spent almost 2.5 months discussing non-football shit on this podcast about people going on podcasts, DJ giving up on plays, Tyreek trying to close down fans, Caleb's body language, like so many things that has nothing to do with winning a football game. And you know who else saw that shit? Ben fucking Johnson. He saw that Chicago team and he said, honestly, on pound of a pound, this Chicago team is actually better than this Detroit team.
He needed that. He felt like that.
It's better than, and city for city. I will stand on this. I stand on this hill. I looked at it's some spots like you go O-line, yeah, drastically better. But we can go because I was looking at some other stuff after our position groups. But pound for pound, this Bears team should be way better than the Detroit team.
That's interesting.
This city is better than this city. It ain't a city in the NFC North better than Chicago.
I know that's right.
Ain't nothing about them that look better as be better. Nothing. The only thing we needed was like kind of Justin Fields. I'm gonna put it out there for our fans who still love Justin, like some of us do. We all kind of do. But overall, now look at the whole team. Way better. Pound for pound, this team is really good.
Yeah.
And you got Shane Walters smiling like, yeah. You just got your ass blown up. Let's do it again. Let's go 5 wide. Nobody in the backfield with the shitty ass offensive line on 2nd and 17. Like, are you stupid? So yes, they body language was bad because exactly what I said, Mark, when we cut up the pie and I only gave 50% to the staff. And what did I tell you I wanted to give to the staff? I wanted to give them almost 80-90% of the fault. And Mark said, hey, these guys get paid millions of dollars and they should overcome. But it like my job also is to execute your plan. Run your play. Phil Jackson, I'm gonna run your triangle offense. I'm gonna run your West Coast offense. I'm gonna run your air raid offense. That's what I'm gonna do. Because that's why you gave me $25 million a year to run that offense. And it sucks. And we're losing and we're terrible. So yes, I'm bad because when I go to you and I say, hey, we gave them an open door policy. We went to you. Remember, Mark, when they said the door was open for all of them to come in and express their feelings. And then the next week we went out and shit the same bed. You didn't listen. You came up with the same plan. You ran the same plays. Do you want Caleb to really go out there and be like, hey, as a rookie, hey, look, I know Shane and Flus and all of them, they said we're going to run, Eagle 22, Sky, whatever. We're going to run Falcon Blue 65 because he's stupid. You expect your rookie to do that? No. I'm going to run your plan, and I'm getting my ass ate up. And you're laughing? Fuck you.
Look, I just thought that was interesting because of like we saw what happened. I just thought, there's a lot of things you can talk about with Caleb, and I just thought that was interesting. But I think that's Ben being Ben. That's what I chalk it up to. Him being Ben, and he's him seeing something I just don't see, or we just don't see with Caleb, and it's actually a positive, I think, because maybe he didn't want to just air out his Caleb Williams shortcomings out there like that. So I just want to hear y'all fellas' opinion on that one. It's just a little interesting to me. The pre-snap procedure thing was obvious. We all saw that. They weren't getting out of the huddle until it was taking a lot.
I want you to do it right. I want you to do it right because I know what I'm doing, and I'm doing it for you. You know what I mean? Like in Baltimore, Baltimore offense said, you know what? We're gonna change. We don't have Joe Flacco no more. We're gonna change everything to a Lamar Jackson type field to make it better for Lamar Jackson. And I think that was the frustration for the players because it was you're coming in and giving me something that I don't do or I'm not it. And I think that was DJ frustration was, hey, look, you keep running these plays that not DJ Moore plays.
Well, okay.
You keep running these plays that I know you're not. I already know you're not.
Crying.
You already know. You already
too old to be crying like that. Yeah. No.
What? Too old to what? He's younger than you,
Pout.
I think.
Pout.
But anyway.
Yeah, and I would never pout.
Pouting.
That's what I'm saying.
Pouting.
Ever.
My whole thing is, this is what I felt.
This
is what I felt. I'm not giving him a pass. I'm not giving him a pass. Don't pout. Like you said, you still get to pay just run the plays. Don't pout about it. Just say, hey, look, I ran what they told me to do. Well, why wasn't you open? Because Shane Walden ran a play that put 4 receivers within 10 yards of each other. And they only needed 2 defenders to defend 1 ball. Math is mathing, right? 1 ball, 2 defenders, 4 receivers. That just trickled down so bad, right? So my whole thing is, I get why you are down on DJ. Don't pout. Don't pout. Just do your fucking job, dude, and go home. Cool.
I think it's kind of like because quarterbacks do it too. You know, when a ball just goes over somebody's head, and then you see a quarterback like doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to make it seem like showing everybody it wasn't me. Yeah, you didn't run the right route, or you didn't.
Why did you reach?
Yeah.
Right.
But wide receivers do it too.
They all do it.
Ben Johnson just want to cut it out and stop feeling sorry for yourself and let's go to the next play and let's play football.
Because, like I just said, Ben Johnson saw this team and he saw every name on the depth chart and he said, these guys right here, this 75, 80 dudes I see, the talent is immaculate, dude. It is great. They just need structure. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take every screw out of the panel. I'm going to take every brake pad off every strut. I'm going to take every door off every car. And we're going to make sure that everything works exactly how it's supposed to. From how you talk. Yeah, but go right ahead. We go to the next thing because we didn't get a position group chat. But
let's turn the page.
I love it.
This is what we're going to do. Let's start with these wide receivers. Let's dive into these wide receivers. And what we'll do is we'll go and each name give an expectation. It could be numbers. It can be just a description on what you expect, what you want to see from them, what you want to see them get better at from last year, and then just give them a tag on what type of player you feel they are, whether that's a starter, solid starter, a backup, whether they're starting or not. DJ Moore, if you feel like he's a backup, tag him as a backup. Rome, you feel like he's a generational talent, just tag him as a generational talent, and we'll just go through these just like that. And I
think me and Mark, I think we've been through most of this group already. So it's on you, Jeremy and Ronnie. Let's see what y'all got. Show the Black Bear Podcast family what y'all got, what y'all believe. Y'all can even throw Keenan Allen in there, comparisonly wise, because I think we did that last year, Mark. Well, go right ahead.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Let's kick it off with DJ Moore. Expectations, tag.
Jeremy, go ahead.
I think he's going to have 1,000-yard year. I think he'll be the wide receiver 1 of this group. I think that they're going to scheme him open. I think he will. I think he's going to have a really successful year, a bounce back year
Shake your
from what
ass.
he had a year ago.
Dude,
So
I damn near died. My foot hurts so bad. Damn.
I think overall he'll be wide receiver 1,000 yards. That's what I'd say.
I would agree with you. 1,000 yards nowadays isn't like it used to be.
Mhm.
So for a guy like DJ Moore, I think 1,000 yards is very reasonable for him to achieve. And he is our number one, and I think he is going to excel in this offense. He did not excel last year. He did not do much. It didn't seem like he was the guy that we thought he was. But in this offense now, Caleb coming into his second year, I think that DJ Moore is going to show a little more, and he's gonna prove that he's worth that $110 million that he's getting.
What would you tag him as? Solid starter, superstar?
He's a superstar. If he gets the ball and is throwing the ball, he can make plays on it. He's not the biggest receiver, but I still feel like he's aggressive and ferocious enough to go and get that ball if it's thrown to him.
Superstar. I'll go next. Expectations. I won't say yards. He should get 1,000. He should get 1,000, but I expect to see a lot of run after the catch. I expect this for him to be a first down ace for us. I expect his body language to be a lot better. And just be that overall leader who got the biggest contract in Bears history, because he just wasn't showing me that. If I'm gonna give him a tag, I'll give him a solid starter for sure. I wouldn't give him wide receiver 1. I wouldn't give him superstar. Solid starter for me. Wes, you are up.
Oh, thank God. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Hey, do you still got the video, Mark, of when he signed his contract? Go, DJ. Put it up. Go ahead before I go. You got it. We gonna get it. Oh, I'm sorry.
I actually
don't
have it.
Oh, you don't have it. It's fine. It's okay. Go, DJ. Y'all see? Hey, and the Carter 5, Carter 6 actually dropped on June 5th this year. So just to let y'all know, next Thursday you can get the Carter 5.
Talk to us. What you got on DJ?
98 receptions, 966 yards, 6 touchdowns, 9.9 average. Last year, when our quarterback got sacked almost 70 fucking times, and you think he's not going to get 1,000 yards? You think he's not wide receiver 1? Remember when Justin Fields, he had that 200 plus game against Washington? DJ is the grandpa of what Luther Burton III will be. He's the blueprint of what Luther Burton will be.
Hopefully.
Just like you said, Mark, when you said, oh, we drafted Colston to replace Cole Kmet, we drafted Luther Burton to replace DJ at some point in time. But DJ is wide receiver 1. He is wide receiver 1. It's not too many wide receiver 1 that's better than DJ Moore. It's 30-something wide receivers in the NFL that's better than DJ Moore.
How about Bear Truth? How about exceptional starter? How about that? Exceptional starter. Can't go wide receiver 1.
He is wide receiver 1, Mark. He's a wide receiver 1 on almost all of NFL teams. He's wide receiver 1 in Arizona.
So is your tag? That's your tag for him? Wide
Over wide receiver 1. He's over Marvin Harrison Jr. in Arizona for sure.
He's a 1.
He's like, you can go to a bunch of teams. You can go to like most wide receiver 1s in the NFL right now are sophomores. You're talking about neighbors in New York. You're talking about Brian Thompson Jr. in Jacksonville. You're talking about a tight end in Bowers in LA. You're talking about my man that got shot in San Francisco. DJ Moore, yeah. What I can't think of his name right now. He was on my list last year.
Ricky Pearsall.
Ricky Pearsall. He better than Debo. He's better than Ayuk.
Say it then.
I can argue that he's better than DK.
Oh wow.
I can argue he's better than Terry McClock, whatever that dude name is. You can give me probably 10, maybe 15 wide receiver ones that's better than him. For sure. I can give you that. I can give you that.
Well, let's get to the next guy then.
But he is wide receiver 1, exceptionally bare truth.
You feeling good tonight, Wes?
You think he'd go to the Colts and be wide receiver 1?
Let's get to the next guy then, and let's see what he is. Then I would be interested to hear this one. And Wes, since you are hot, go ahead, talk about him. Rome,
put his name up there. He's wide receiver 1. I had to say it loud and proud. My mama, she said, "You so loud." We're wide receiver 1 material. We're neighbors. We're Brian Thompson Jr.'s. We're Brock Bowers. I said it last year. All of these wide receivers, I put Brock Bowers in that wide receiver because he's tight end, whatever. I said them all. The only one that didn't show up was Jalen Pope.
Wide receiver 1 expectation.
Wide receiver 1. He's a wide receiver 1. It's
what you want to see
anywhere else. What I want to see out of him? I'm gonna tell you what I want to see. So DJ gonna have 1,200 yards. So Roma Dunze is gonna have. I'm gonna tell you exactly what he's gonna have. Let me do my calculations in my Chef West. Let me whip it up. He's gonna have 89 receptions, 957 yards, 7 touchdowns, average 11 per catch.
That
very interesting.
Because we're going to use Luther Burton more on the jet sweep kind of thing too, because he got that speed like Xavier Worthy, who I didn't bring up again, whose Roma Dunze is better than, even though he's a better route runner and kind of faster, but as a receiver, Roma Dunze is better than Xavier Worthy. Hey, look, he's up there with neighbors. He's better than Brian Thompson Jr.
I feel like he's the best receiver of that draft, honestly.
No. He's up there. It's only 3. It's only 3 you could argue me with, and that was
Rome?
Harrison. Yeah, Rome. You could argue Harrison. You could argue neighbors, but you can't tell me Brian Thomason, Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell, Brock Bowers, who I put in my. I did it. Hey, if you're a black Brock.
Come on now.
Sorry, I was losing it for a minute. But if you watch the podcast, you will know I put everybody out there who is going to be great this year. And what I hit about 84%, Mark.
That's a big number.
And Ricky got shot, so that don't count.
Ricky ain't no number 1. But okay.
I'm just saying he's up there. He's gonna be 49ers probably number 1 receiver. Probably he ain't wrong.
Bear Truth. I'll go next. Bear Truth. You asked what is a wide receiver 1? This is a wide receiver 1. This is a wide receiver 1. Not just starter, not number 2 guy, not an exceptional starter. This is your ideal, prototypical wide receiver 1. This is what I would like DJ Moore to be or look like or play like. You've seen his numbers come out of college. When you talk about contested catches, now it's college. Obviously, we got to see that show up in the NFL. But the dude had 700 and some yards. I don't know how many touchdowns off the top of my head, but as a number 3 wide receiver?
5. 4?
Top 10 pick. This is your wide receiver 1. And Bear Truth, you did put it in there. You said, boom, by the end of the year, be wide receiver 1. This is your wide receiver 1. This is him. He is him. I need to see wide receiver 1 play, kind of like I said with Colston Loveland. I need to see Colston take Cole Kmet's spot eventually. I need these top 10 picks to show up and show out. You can't just sit back. I need you to take DJ Moore's number 1 wide receiver spot. I need that. That's what I need to see from you. So this is your wide receiver 1. That's my tag. And like I said, my expectations be undeniable as the undisputed wide receiver 1 on this team. That's my take on Rome Odunze. Got drafted over some names. Got drafted over some guys. I don't need to see Brian Thomas, having better seasons than you no more. Keenan's gone.
He shouldn't. But those guys were the number 1 kind of target. That's why Cole Kmet got $50 million. That's why Darnell Mooney looked really, really good. You think he's Darnell Mooney? Come on.
Hey, does anybody remember Tom Waddle?
Yes, he does. ESPN 1000. I listen to him talk bullshit.
Tom, we need someone who's going to be that guy. That's the possession.
Tom Waddle
receiver.
is not Rome Odunze, Ronnie.
No. He's not going to be a game changer, but he gets first downs. He gets tough catches over the middle. He's the possession guy. We need that. Who's going to be that guy in our locker room?
That's a good point.
You have to have that guy.
But most of Rome Odunze catches last year was first down. Remember, Mark?
Rome Odunze is a beast, no doubt. He's a dog. He's going to fight. He's most likely going to be a number 1 at some point, for sure. But on this team with Chicago Bears, every team has to have those guys, those Kurt Rambuses, those guys that do the dirty work. Every team has to have those guys that are willing to go in the trenches and take those hits. Yep. Who's our guy? We got speed. We got possession. We got guys that can catch. Who's going to be that guy? That's all I'm concerned about.
No block, no rock.
For sure.
Talk to me then. Keep going, Ronnie. Keep it going. Rome Odunze, what's your tag for him? And just give quick expectations.
I think Rome Odunze, he's going to have a better year than he had last year. Obviously, I mean, coming into his second year, he's most likely going to come into his own. And sadly to say for DJ Moore, it might be a sad situation for him if Rome comes into his own and starts doing his thing like everybody expects. He's the number 9 overall pick. I mean, that's what expectations are high. So, I mean, he had a good rookie campaign. He's probably going to have a better sophomore campaign with Ben Johnson calling the plays. So, DJ Moore's time might be limited here. I don't know how he's going to fit into this offense. I like him, and I hope he stays and fits. But if not, I'm a Bears fan, first and foremost. So if we have to deal him to get something better and that's what it takes, I'm all about the team. So, but yeah, Rome, for sure, I think he's our future, no doubt.
Jeremy, take it away.
Wide receiver 1 has wide receiver 1 production. So I hate to be the wet blanket here. He's a wide receiver 2 until he shows me wide receiver 1 production. I think he will be. I do. I don't see it right now today as he's a wide receiver 1. I think he will by the end of this season, kind of like where Bear True said. I think he will get used more outside. I do think that you're going to see more in the slot, more, no pun intended. But I really like him. I think he's got all the skills. I think he will be the wide receiver 1. I want to see how Ben uses him too. I think that's going to tell us a lot by week 2 or week 3, where these plays are getting schemed up, will be interesting to see. And yeah, Bear Truth 9 saying Moore is not going anywhere. I think it'll be interesting to see how these guys are used, because to Wes's point, we haven't gotten into Luther yet. I'm going to assume he's next. I think how Luther gets utilized is going to have an impact on how all these people. I think they have a very significant plan for him to take him as high as they did. Like they really feel like they want to use him in a particular way. So I'll say wide receiver 2 for now. Hopefully by the end of the year, wide receiver 1.
Go ahead and keep that mic in your hand for me and kick us off with Luther.
in terms of expectations, I think he's going to be 500 yards. I think he's going to get, in terms of carries, I think he's probably going to get 20 to 30 carries over the course of the year as well, whether it's through the jet or they actually put him in the backfield, motion him into the backfield and give him handoffs. I think he's going to be really, really good slot player. I think if they do decide to keep more outside, he would be your slot weapon, and he may, Ronnie, be your potential possession guy. They may look to use him on crossers, get him going across the middle. So I would say 500 yards sort of expectation for him, getting touches, both with the handoffs, the jets in the backfield. And then I think he's also going to have a big significant role in the return game. I expect that he's probably going to likely be either returning punts or kickoffs, and he'll have an impact there as well.
Okay. I kind of saw that coming. It kind of makes sense. Ronnie, you want to go?
I was just pointing at West for a second because I was seeing West's face, but yeah, Luther Burden.
I'm ready.
I see him running a lot of slants, and there's going to be a lot of yak for him. What I see for him, it depends if they get him the ball or not. He's a speedster, so obviously they're not gonna spread him out wide a lot. He's going to be in a slot a lot. So early on for him, yeah, I think Jeremy hit it. He's going to be 500 or so yards, but it's going to be a lot of yak. It's going to be, and he could be that possession guy because it's going to be 3rd and 4, and they're going to hit him on that slant or something quick that they can get him the ball. But yeah, I think right now, for as far as Luther Burden goes, he's the number 3, but he could grow and he could develop into something better for sure. He's obviously disappointed with where his draft spot landed, so he's trying to prove people wrong. And he was supposed to go in the 1st round, so we'll see what he offers. I'm hoping it's the best for him.
Chef, should I take it away?
You can, because I got my butter melting over here.
Oh,
Let's cook. You want to go?
I agree with y'all, fellas. I don't know about 500. It's hard for me right now with the numbers.
Yeah,
but I definitely think he will. He's a solid starter. He's a starter for sure. He'll be. It's tough. Like I keep hearing the DJ Moore being a slot thing, and then now they'll be they're interchangeable for sure. If I'm going to have to be nailed down on something, I say DJ will keep playing that role he's playing, outside guy. Yeah. Luther. It's a lot of mouths, you know what I mean? Like we won't talk about the tight ends, but I think he'll be used way more in the gadget plays. I think he'll be the quick slants, just like you said, Ronnie, quick slants. But I don't know, unless somehow Caleb and him, they just develop this connection or whatever, kind of like he got with Rome. Maybe 400, 500 yards, another 300-400 on the ground, 300 maybe, and a lot of special teams work. But solid starter for sure. But I do think he got a lot of potential to take whatever spot people got for DJ. I know a lot of trade talks for DJ. So I say he's like I give him a budding star. He's a budding star. I give him budding star tag. Talk to us, Wes.
I was muted. Y'all can hear me laugh. Let me sip my bourbon real quick. Are y'all crazy? This is a Ben Johnson offense. This is a 55% possible points a game offense. This is a guy who lines up offensive linemen to go get touchdowns in the red zone offense. And I'm thinking on the high side of things, and I'm just saying outside like of reality of things. And I've been in a terrible offense. You had DJ Moore with 966 yards. That's one. He's got 1,000 with Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
Ben Johnson, easy, right? I'll go to Roma Doomsday. because y'all know how much I love 1.5. 735, easily 900 plus. I think Bear Truth put it in that 900 to 1,000. He only had 3 touchdowns. I see him getting about 7 to 9 next season. Easily. He's 6'3", 215. 6'3"? Come on. And he caught major passes last season. And then what we keep removing from the conversation is the production of the guy that is no longer on the team and will not return is Keenan Allen. Who's going to take the 70 receptions, 745 yards? You think that's really going to go to Luther Burden?
Cost of living.
It is. That's what Luther Burden's going to have. I give him 50 receptions, 500 yards. Just to give something to the tight ends. This is why I said, Mark, when I said if the Bears don't score 28 points a game, we're underachieving. We're underachieving in this Ben Johnson offense.
Yeah, I think you and Jeremy kind of felt that way. We should score
We're
that many points.
underachieving. And I'm not saying that every game we should. If we have a 17-point game, cool. 17-point to 13-point, Jeremy, right? We win, cool. But if we go up against like a Browns or a team that is like the Packers, 60-point they ass out the door. I want to have 40 at half. Like, so, bad.
What do you see him as?
Who?
Luther. What do you see him as?
I see Luther Burden as a wide receiver 3, just like Roma Dunze was last season. He got 700 yards plus 3 touchdowns. But what I also see is what number 12, the name I don't like to say no more, on that jet sweep, getting that ball, having those tangible, I can't think of the word, but those things that I can pitch the ball to him. And like I said, I think Luther Burden gonna have at least 500 receiving yards and about plus 250, 300 rushing yards.
Damn.
With maybe 3-2. I give him 3. Give him 3 touchdowns. They might not all be receiving touchdowns though. All 3 might be like jet sweep in the red zone kind of touchdowns. I expect this Ben Johnson offense to be like monumental. Like, how could you not when you have a DJ Moore, a Roma Dunze, a Luther Burden, a Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, you got DeAndre Swift. We seen what he did with minimal or no work and didn't even try running the ball. He had 900 rushing yards without even trying to run the ball. He didn't hit no gap.
Yeah.
And he had like 400 receiving yards and didn't even try. Khalil Herbert left. Roshan went down with the concussion protocol. Like, and this offense was still like, as far as stats, you look at it, you like, not really that bad. And you bring Ben Johnson in, you bring Eric Bieniemy. Let's not talk about the coaches that they getting coached by. So I expect so much more, statistically speaking. Like, as far as yards, I expect a lot of yards from the Bears. A lot of yards.
I do think it's interesting when you talk about what Rome was able to do as a rookie and that number 3 spot, I guess.
Number 3 star, 750 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had, I think it was, how many first downs he had out of his receptions? Hold on, let me see. So he had 54 receptions, 36 was first downs. That's before Yak.
I got it. I really, for this offense, I need to see what they do with Colston. I really need to see that before I can honestly give my honest opinion on these dudes' roles. Because Colston, I'm gonna keep going back to a top 10 pick.
My whole thing is, Mark, will Colston be a negative?
No, I just need to see that domino fall before I can actually get a feel for how these wide receivers going to shake up. For real, for real. But okay, let's go to this next guy, a limited Alameda Zacchaeus. I'll kick it off. Hopefully he can give us what he gave he was the Eagles and the Commanders. If he can be that dude that spells the people like Luther or DJ and give him a break, come in and catch 130-yard first down catch on 3rd and 15 or something like that, like he was doing for what's the quarterback there, Commanders. I'm drawing a blank.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. Like he was doing with Jaden Daniels, because he actually, I think he caught a touchdown on us when we played him.
How was that?
But,
he did.
Yeah, that's really all I'm expecting for him. Hopefully he can be that, like, first off the bench for sure for our wide receiver group. Backup. Just backup. That's all I got for him is a backup.
Yep.
What you got, Ronnie? What you think about Zacchaeus?
I'm just thinking he's the guy they brought in. He's just a solid backup, someone to bring in to give other guys breathers. Someone that if we get injuries, he can come in. We can plug him in real quick. He can pick up the offense. He's a veteran. He'll learn it quickly. He's not someone that's gonna, with the numbers, bolster your eyes or nothing. But he can plug in and do the job in a short term. You know what I mean?
Next,
Jeremy, what you got?
Solid backup. Think he'll score twice over the course of the year. I do think he'll probably contribute pretty heavily on special teams. Like, I think he'll pretty much be on every single special team, whether he's working as a gunner or he's on punt coverage or whatever. I think he'll have a significant role there. Not someone that you really hope is starting for you at any point, but if he does, you're okay with it.
Yeah. Do they still have gunners with the new rules? I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's still gunners.
Okay.
Still gunners on the outside, because I mean it's 10 yards. So if you think about
the new kickoff stuff is so crazy. It's not even fair.
Yeah, so if you think about 40-yard dashes.
I mean, punt teams,
right? Like 1.2 speed kind of takeoff, and somebody backpedaling. So that matters, I guess. Like I said, backup for sure. I'm gonna jump in. Backup for sure. First down merchant. That's what I want to give him. You can call him backups or whatever. If I'm Blues in the comments, I'm a wide receiver guy. First down, chain mover. That's what we do. Chain mover, first down. So get out. You come in. I don't care. First down, second down, third down. As a kid, hey, get to the chains. Stretch. First down. Do this a lot.
Yeah.
If you don't do it 23 times in a season, do this.
Right.
A lot. That's all we want you to do. I saw him catch a touchdown last year, and Washington. The reason he caught a touchdown, because we didn't know who he was, and we probably had him low on the scouting report, and he got it. Just like the person who caught the Phil Mary. It wasn't McCollin, it wasn't the top guys or whatever. Be that guy. I'm just
who was
that I know.
Hold on, y'all don't do y'all remember his name?
Something Brown,
That's interesting. We don't remember his name.
I bet Tyree Stevenson knows his name.
He better, but I think it was Brown. I think it was Brown for sure. I don't know. More than likely, I think it was like Brown or something. I think that was his name.
Oh, it was De'Ami Brown.
De'Ami Brown. See, like I said, I thought it was Brown. I think, look. It ain't enough whiskey to make me forget. But yeah. But come in, get those first downs, keep the trains going, give DJ, give Luther, give those guys a break. I know a lot of people want to say, oh yeah, gunners, special teams, all that kind of stuff. I gotta say, they are And the only thing I got to say to Bears fans is Tyler Scott. To me, last year was a wasted mark. Remember, wasted spot. We put him high up on a lot of our 53 man because we're gonna do a 53 man, Ronnie and Jeremy. I can't wait to see our 53 man roster that y'all put out. But remember, we put him high on our 53 man roster. No tick.
Yeah, Tyler Scott. Yeah, I mean,
You see what I'm saying? Dropping passes. You ain't on special teams. He wasn't on special teams either.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, I hear what you're saying, Jeremy, when you say, like, could be a special team, good special teams player. All that other
Tyler
stuff,
Scott's
but
also too small, though. Like, Zacchaeus is, like, big enough to actually do some of those things. I feel like you won't put Tyler Scott out on punt coverage. I don't know. I mean, I think he's going to get trucked.
yeah, that's cool. I just say Darnell Mooney had 1,100 yards, I think. So size don't matter. I'm a little guy, so I'm sorry, big old Kyle Bryant. Brant. I don't know why I keep calling him Bryant. I always like to call him Bryant, but
You
Bryant.
like Kobe.
Whom?
You see what I'm wearing? Mike, baby.
No, we don't get into that yet. But yeah, but I like the pickup, but I like the next person a way lot better than this guy and Tyler Scott.
Go ahead, kick us off with the next guy.
The punt is up.
Zombie.
Devin catches the ball. Devin's at the 20. Devin's at the 30. Devin's at the 40. Oh my God, he breaks a tackle. Devin goes all the way. You remember how Chicago Bears fan loves that name when it comes to special team?
Devin Duvernay gets an introduction.
Devin Duvernay. Devin Duvernay is really good on special teams, though.
Solid.
He has no accolades as far as a receiver comes, but he can get the ball up the field on special teams when he catches it. And with the new rules, and you kind of have to run. I mean, the other Devin, our favorite Devin, Hall of Fame Devin, would have loved these rules. This Devin, I think as was I looked it up, I think he averaged like 18 to 21 return yards on kickoffs and punt.
Well, that's going to have to where he's going to have to excel because it's not going to be in the receiving core. That's for sure.
Oh no, he's not going to. He's not going to be in the receiving core. He's going to be that. He's not going to be our Hef. He's not going to be our Devin Hester. He's not going to be Hester for us. Nobody's going to be that. Nobody's going to be that. He needs a statue.
You see him right there? It's Devin right here, baby.
Yeah.
Hester, he's the best kick return, punt return ever. Ever.
But OMG, is he not going to change it? Now, think about it. We got him changing the field for us on one side, and then you got the Tory Taylor and hopefully Cairo on
field position.
Field position, changing that kind of thing. Yes. Yeah. He's Oliver. He's our return. He's a return specialist. And that's something that you only get. I mean, Ronnie, you can understand. There's only a few players in the history of football that get designated as a return specialist. Like Devin Hesselus, Dante Hall. Like, you know what I mean? Like those kind of players who they're return specialists. Like when they get the ball, it doesn't matter if you're a yard in front of them, they're gonna, whoop, juke and go. That's why I think this pickup is low-key astronomical, especially how they're changing the rules on how the kickoff goes because they want more. It's like the NBA with no hand checking, kind of. It's like we want to see returns.
Okay,
so we're gonna give you the chance to. I think it is when you're a return, like. Think about
Devin Duvernay, Wes.
He's a return specialist once. No, he's not Devin Hester. I'm just saying we may be on the forefront of something with the new
have an impact
that would have a impact. If it was Devin Hester, you'll be like, oh yeah, this new rule change. Yeah, we getting a touchdown on every kickoff.
Showing a lot of love to Devin Duvernay. That's all I'm saying.
No. I'm showing a lot of love for what Devin Duvernay does.
Right.
He's not going to catch no touchdowns. He's not going to have no first downs and no yaks. But he is going to return the ball into a position that gives your quarterback, right? Remember your guy? Remember?
He can contribute.
Great.
Our.
Exactly.
Our
guy.
So my whole thing is
Our
because you said I'm giving
Yes,
love
sir.
to
Our
Devin
quarterback.
Duvernay. You're not going to give love to Devin Duvernay for being a return specialist. who
I'm
does
not
really, really
gonna.
well?
I'm not gonna give love to Devin Duvernay.
Now I'm gonna tell you, Jerry, why he gets that. I'm gonna tell you why his love gets a little bit more, because his position coach is Antoine Randall L, who actually caught touchdowns and returned the ball on punts and kickoffs, and return punts for touchdowns and return kickoffs for touchdowns. So he knows what he's doing, and this guy already knows what he's doing too.
Jeremy, I know you've seen Antoine Randall L. Don't act like you didn't.
Don't act like you didn't know that he returned punts.
Pittsburgh Steelers, baby.
He didn't return kickoffs for touchdowns. He caught touchdowns. He has almost every stat for a wide receiver, and he's going to try to train this guy up who already is pretty good at what he's doing. He's considered a specialist at returning the ball. No, he's not Devin Hester, but
he ain't gonna be great. But if he can influence him,
add the pluses. Add the pluses. Exactly, man. Add the positives up, man.
Devin Duvernay's long last year in kickoff returns was 28 yards 2 years ago, 34 yards the last season. So I'm not too through the moon. His last return touchdown.
What was Carter?
What have we had? That's the thing. What if we had nothing?
Yeah, I think Burden is going to be the guy
V-list?
more.
What was V-list?
Yeah,
nothing.
V-list.
Add the pluses. Don't.
I hear you. I'm not going to do cartwheels over Devin Duvernay. Even as a return. Yeah, and he did return punts well. Yeah, he did. I'll give you that. I still think Burden's got a higher ceiling there. He had a long of. He did have a 70-yard punt return 2 years ago. He had a 53-yard punt return last year. So he's been more successful on punts than he has been. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Combine them together. Add the pluses. Add the thing. Hey, look, if you
be positive, bro. Come on now.
Exactly right. Add the pluses. He's better than the returners we had before.
He's fine. That's all I'm saying.
That's where I'm at. He's fine.
Now, there you go. Hey, Mark, that's when you say solid.
It should have been like a 3-second a piece breakdown of Devin Duvernay.
Any improvement isn't
it was too much
because our returners sucked. Our returners sucked. So I'm grateful to have somebody that could. One of them couldn't even fucking catch the ball. Miss me on that bullshit y'all talking.
Yeah,
it's Devin Duvernay. I can imagine.
But
it seemed like you went harder for him than Cole Kmet or Zay Frazier.
Because we upgraded from Velus Jones, who couldn't catch the ball.
Velus was cut last year, right? Right. I don't think he
Flus
played
was
for
fired, and Shane was fired, and a lot of people ain't hearing that. I'm just saying, like, it's better to have somebody who can return the ball 15, 20 yards for us. Somebody who knows what they're doing.
We just tried to keep Velus just to keep him on the roster. He wasn't really. We didn't even have a position for him. We just tried to fit him in.
Hey, y'all crazy, man. Look, I ain't fit to do this with y'all over Devin Duvernay. I can guarantee you that. Look, a fine starter at the punt returns position. It's the reason he was on the market. It's the reason we was able to go get him. It's the reason.
Not such a huge game changer that he couldn't be let go from a 1-year contract in Jacksonville.
Right.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Most definitely.
I think we gave him a 1-year deal as well. I believe he had Devin Duvernay. I think
And just Oliver, I'd say too, Mitch Trubisky was an all-pro quarterback. So, or he wasn't all-pro, but he was a pro bowler. So, you know, I don't know if we're saying all-pro or pro bowl, but I'm sort of like, I think he's fine. He'll be better than what we had. That's kind of where I'm at with him.
Jeremy, if you ever bring up Mitch Trubisky in a positive light again, we're gonna have problems.
That's all I'm saying. It's
just saying a fact, man. I'm just saying a fact.
It's better than what we had. I'm so happy that we got competence there. Josh Black, what's his Blackwell?
Josh Blackwell.
We're gonna have that wet with Eisenhower, like competence. Like when the ball go up in the air.
For real.
Hopefully we don't do it too much.
I think Blackwell didn't Blackwell run that?
Blackwell scored.
Blackwell decent.
He brought him up. That's why Eisenhower still has a fucking job. My whole thing is, it's better than what we had. That's all I'm saying. That's why I'm giving him his flowers. Like, hey, look, he is a return specialist. He's great. He does he does his job.
That's what he does.
Belichick. Yeah. That's it. He don't have to go from room to room and do it like we don't have to worry about if he's gonna make that's what he does. So yes, he gets his flowers, Mark, for doing his job. That's why Devin has to make the Hall of Fame. A bunch of people say he shouldn't have for returning only 11 touchdowns in the season.
I got no more words.
They shouldn't be Hall of Famer.
I got no more words for you for Devin.
Devin Hester should not be a Hall of Famer.
I said I got no more words for you for Devin.
Exactly. It's right. Exactly.
Are you for real? No Devin in the Hall? Wow.
I'm talking. I'd have no more words for Devin Duvernay. Is what I'm saying.
No, Devin Duvernay is good. He's a great addition. I like the fact that we have somebody who actually knows and his specialty is returning the ball. We don't have to worry about he's going to be left tackle, right tackle, nothing. He's going to return the ball. That's his job. Thank you. But that's it.
Tyler Scott. Who? Devin Duvernay. Who would have thought, right? That's boy.
He's going to get more production than Tyler Scott.
Hey, Tyler Scott. I'll kick it off with Tyler Scott. Expectations. Look, I hope he impresses Ben Johnson in some way, shape, or form where he'll make this team, because that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they'll keep 6. Hope Tyler Scott. I like him. He's another nice dude. He's fast. He got speed, and you can't teach speed. I hope.
Exactly.
That's where I'm headed. I hope, but he probably gonna get cut. So I got zero expectations for him. Cut player for my tag. Yep. You know, another miss wide receiver in the draft by Ryan Poles. Another whiff in general from King Poles. Not much else needs to be said about Tyler Scott.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree. Tyler Scott's probably on his way out. He's been here long enough. He hasn't produced, and this is probably his year. And this is gonna be it. He's gonna have to show something in the preseason and stuff like that to make the team. And I just don't know if he's gonna be able to do that, because there's other players on this roster that are gonna be probably outperforming him. So good luck to him.
Too many people do what he does. We got too many other guys to do what he does.
Right.
So.
If Luther is your take the top off the field guy, that was what they always imagined Tyler Scott to be, which he never did, because he would just drop balls that got thrown to him.
Right.
He's cut for sure. You know, I'd bet my pinky toe that this dude's not on the roster come 53-man roster time. Who think about the order of operations on how many people would have to not get the ball for him to get the ball. Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet, Luther Burden, DJ Moore, Devin Duvernay, and Rome Odunze. Like, and that's Swift out of the backfield too. So there's no chance for him.
He's far back in the food chain for sure.
I'm gonna give y'all one better. From what we seen this week in OTAs. Mm-hmm. Everybody is big on JP Richardson and what he does and how effective he is in the Ben Johnson offense. You know who doesn't fit the Ben Johnson offense or is not needed in the Ben Johnson offense? Tyler Scott. We did this all last year on the Black Bear podcast. Remember, Rob? We spent 3 months screaming, where the hell is Tyler Scott? What was the return guy who was catching passes? And we was like, where's Tyler Scott? Carter something Carter?
Yeah, Carter.
Remember, he was catching passes. I remember he got a first down. I was like, why is Tyler Scott? What? Because remember, he had a great preseason. Remember, Mark, we was talking about Tyler Scott taking off the top. That's why it was okay for Vetus Jones to go to the running back room, kind of, mixing it up, using your weapons, how you can use them. And I can't remember how many times I saw number 10 on the field. I saw 14 way more than I saw 10, and I hated it so much. Mark can tell you how much I hated it.
I do think it's interesting because we did talk about another prime cut candidate that I think everybody on the show last season, not y'all two fellas below, but everybody had Velas Jones cut. I had Velas making this roster. He made the roster. Now he eventually got cut, but he made the roster. That's all I'm saying. Scott is another one of those
12
guys.
is close to 10. He's close.
I don't
12
think
is close to 10.
I don't think Ben Johnson having that shit. I think
and I don't think they love him like they loved. They were so hell-bent on making 12 work. Well, let's make him a running back. Let's make him a returner. Let's make him a wide receiver. They would made him everything but the damn quarterback. I don't think Tyler Love has that gravitas. He's like a 4th or 5th round guy. You don't hear him. They almost forgot about him on 1920 Hallis or Football Drive. They were naming the receiver room, polls his name, and he's like, 6 seconds later, Tyler Scott. He didn't even remember he was on the roster. So I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. I just don't see the spot for him. And then when you bring up J.P. Richardson too, I mean, I'd much rather throw him as a slot guy and let him stick on the roster at this point as an undrafted free agent, rookie than play the Tyler Scott game anymore. So I think that's done.
Also, last year when they took Velas Jones, I think they wanted to keep Elon Wheeler, but he got injured. So I don't know how that would have worked for Velas Jones had he stayed healthy. So, I mean, the Tyler Scott thing this year, I think, it's a foregone conclusion. He's gone.
And remember, they found a way to keep Elon Wheeler somehow on the payroll.
Yeah.
To that where he is technically in the running back room right now.
Right.
So, like I said, we talked about it last year on this podcast. Mark, remember, we talked about Tyler Scott a lot, taking the top off, doing those kind of things. And I think he missed 2 really good long balls. And that was it. And we didn't see him no more. And remember, I put him on my 53 and I took Carter off. And Mark Robb said, hey, look, Carter's going to be returning because special teams, Wes, you need to understand. And I'm like, yeah, but Tyler did really, really good in the offseason. Stupid of me. And that's one of those makeshift 40-0 wins that Mark had on me.
That's another thing. Look, and
I don't think it was 40-0. I think I won something. I don't think I was 0, but it's cool. But honestly, no. Seriously, I don't think Tyler Scott makes the 53.
No.
I don't even think he make the practice squad. To be honest, maybe because Ryan Poles is a nice guy and Mark hate that much, but maybe he might possibly. But I think Ben Johnson has nothing for him. So therefore, I think he's gonna be just like Keenan Allen, which is on the market, floating around.
Okay. Look, we're gonna wrap this up here. We won't get to the DBs today. Probably touch on get to the DBs next week. What I do want to do though is maybe next week I do want to do the Ryan Poles thing. Maybe replace that with the OTA. But just the Ryan Poles thing. Just the Ryan Poles.
What's the Ryan Poles thing?
Let's talk about his hits and misses, his good and his bad, and see where we line up with that. But look,
we know where we were lining up, Mark. But okay. I don't think the Ryan Poles thing is that I mean that. Okay, we can
40
do it.
and 0. 40 and 0.
Nah.
40 and
You
0.
trash. No, come on. You
No,
talking about
look.
we got Caleb, we got Rome, we got DJ, Monte Sweat, TJ.
Look, we will leave this
One,
people.
Kyler. Got that right. I can go. I can go.
Appreciate y'all tuning in to the Black Bear Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Rod, with my co-host in the building, Chef West to the right of me, OG Ronnie B
I'm
below
on the
him,
right now, not at the bottom.
and Jeremy below me. Look, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast, one word, no spaces. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We go live every Sunday during the off season and post-game shows and some pre-game shows during the season, after and before every game. Look, appreciate y'all tuning in. Show us some love. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Sunday night. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.